The king of the north!
Dracarys.
I will hurt you for this.
I am the sword in the darkness.
Lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of the sheep.
Let me give you some advice, bastard.
Chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder.
What is up, everybody? Jeremy Ice and Fire here, and welcome to the channel. And after weeks of speculating and guessing as to who will be playing Cregan Stark, the Wolf of the North, in Season 2 of House of the Dragon, we are now getting confirmation as to who exactly will be filling those shoes when Season 2 hits our screens. And it looks like none other than Tom Taylor has been cast in the role. Tom Taylor was one of the actors that has been speculated to be playing Cregan Stark over the last few weeks, especially since he and Harry Collette, the actor who plays Jace on House of the Dragon, have followed each other, and it looks like Tom Taylor has only followed Jace, indicating that those two could potentially have some scenes together. And now it's looking like that confirmation is here. Tom Taylor is indeed our Cregan Stark. And I think this is a pretty good casting. I am not disappointed in the slightest. I know a lot of the fandom was hoping for Leo Sutter to be cast in the role as well, and I thought he would have done just as good, in my opinion. Leo Sutter is an absolutely phenomenal actor on Vikings Valhalla. But I think Tom Taylor might fit the character a little bit better, especially in terms of the age of Cregan Stark at the Dance of the Dragons. When most people think of Cregan Stark, they think of the Cregan that he grows on to become later on in life, the Wolf of the North, the leader of Winterfell. But this Cregan Stark is much, much younger. He has just become Lord of Winterfell a few years prior. He is only around 21 years of age at the time of the beginning of the dance. So I think Tom Taylor could be a little bit better of a fit for this Cregan Stark at this time period. Tom Taylor was recently in the show The Last Kingdom. He played the younger version of Uhtred of Bebbanburg in the very first season of The Last Kingdom, and was really good in the role. And now, of course, he is much, much older, and it looks like he is going to be stepping into the role of the Warden of the North. And it's going to be very interesting to see how they utilize Cregan this early on in the dance. Cregan Stark, of course, will go on to have a much more prominent role during the war towards the end of the series, when we get closer to the famous Hour of the Wolf. And, of course, if you want to learn more about the Hour of the Wolf and Cregan Stark's life before and after the dance, definitely check out my Life of Cregan Stark video. But it's going to be interesting to see how they utilize him this early on when he and Jace first meet. Season 1 of House of the Dragon, of course, ended with Jace heading off to 3 different houses to treat with them to try and win them over to the black side in the Dance of the Dragons. First, of course, he will be going to the Vale to meet with House Aaron. Then, of course, he will be traveling to the Manderleys at White Harbor. And then from there, he will be going north to treat with Cregan Stark himself. And there they will go on to reportedly form the Pact of Ice and Fire. And I'm really hoping that we see Cregan in more than just one episode in Season 2. Although his role isn't very prominent this early on, there is still a decent enough source material to draw on to flesh the character out a little bit more. A few weeks ago, of course, it was revealed that they were building a replica of the wall on the House of the Dragon Season 2 set, so it looks like Jace and Cregan could potentially be traveling to the Night's Watch in Season 2. And then we recently got some reports of the Undead leak from the House of the Dragon set, pointing to the fact that there could potentially be some undead in Season 2 of House of the Dragon. And of course, at this point in time, the White Walkers haven't really revealed themselves. We're not quite sure how active they were during the time period of the Dance of the Dragons. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of these things play out on the show. Will we get some undead on the show? Will we get some White Walker action potentially? What exactly will Jace and Cregan get into up north at the Wall? And then, of course, there is the forging of the Pact of Ice and Fire between House Stark and House Targaryen, where Jace and Cregan both agreed to marry their respective children to each other after the war's end. In Fire and Blood, it is said that Jace and Cregan go on to become very good friends and form an oath of brotherhood, with Jace reportedly reminding Cregan Stark of his younger brother who had recently passed. It is said that the two spend a good amount of time hunting and training together. And it'll be interesting to see if the show casts Sarah Snow as well. In Fire and Blood, there is one reported report from Mushroom that states Jace and Cregan Stark's bastard sister, Sarah Snow, meet and fall in love, and apparently end up sleeping together, which deeply angers Cregan. Cregan only eventually relents when he finds out that Jace and Sarah Snow were secretly married together in the Godswood. But this version of events is highly contested. as Jace is already engaged to marry Baela at the time, and Jace just doesn't seem like someone who would throw away his marriage vow like that. But either way, it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this plays out. In Fire and Blood, there are 3 different versions of events that happen when Jace and Cregan eventually meet, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see which version the show chooses and which parts they fill in on their own. Either way, I am really looking forward to seeing Winterfell again and House Stark and the North in general. It is one of my favorite places in A Song of Ice and Fire, and House Stark is by far my favorite house. But there we have it, folks. Tom Taylor is officially going to be stepping into the role of Cregan Stark on House of the Dragon, and I cannot wait to see how all of this unfolds. And definitely leave your thoughts and comments down below as well. How exactly do you think the meeting between Jace and Cregan is going to go? And which version of events in Fire and Blood do you think the show will go with? Or could they potentially do their own story? But that is going to do it for us today. Just a quick breakdown on the breaking news that has just hit the scene that House of the Dragon has officially cast Tom Taylor in the role of Cregan Stark. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit a like on your way out and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications as well to stay up to date on all of our upcoming content, as we will be covering all things House of the Dragon. And as always, I want to give a big thank you to everybody out there for watching, and we will see you on the next one.